Hi everyone, welcome to the Planner's Way. On the series of video related to the project management, we are on the second series where we are going to discuss about the interview question. Today we are going to discuss very important topic: how do you update cost in the P6? This is one of the frequently asked questions by the interview. We need to understand what the interview is looking in their answer, what they want to hear from them. First, we need to understand where the cost come from, and we need to understand how do you update the progress in the P6, and we need to also find how you forecast the cost in the P6, and we need to make sure that how your costs align with the schedule update. These are the four part of the things they want to hear from you during the interview. We need to make sure that we cover this four part of our answer. So what we need to cover in our answer is how the cost is added to the schedule. So it might be the labor, material, equipment, or it can be the expenses in our project. Another thing is how do you update the cost in the project. It can be the percentage complete or resource unit or actual cost that we get from the team. So how you do it depends upon your project. So these things we need to cover in our answer. And another thing, how do you track your cost? So it's basically we track the cost by using the on value parameter. So we need to cover those things in our answer. Another thing is the tool we use for this overall, and another thing we need to cover is the tools which we use for doing overall these things. So either we can do in MS project or P6. So we need to mention int and how do you calculate and how you do in the in that tool. So these things need to be covered in your answer. So in this slide, I will just explain how do you update the cost in the Primavera P6. First, we need to define our resource and cost properly in the cost rate. So we need to have the resource directive where we update our resource. Then we assign the resource and expenses to the activity so that we can track our activity in terms of the labor, equipment, and material with the budgeted unit. And third, we need to update the schedule. How do you update the schedule? We need to update the progress can be done by the physical percentage complete or duration percentage complete or actual units. So we need to update our program. And another thing we can do by the entering the actual cost in the P6, that can be done by the manual also. And after we do this actual cost, then we need to have something output in our in the P6. So we use the earned value curve, yes curve, or we use the activity user spreadsheet to find out the review the variance in the program. And last finally we run our schedule and calculate the cost variance, schedule variance, SPL, overall budget of the project. So these are the things we do while we update in the Primavera P6. So I have given one sample answer. In the sample answer, the cost is mainly updated through resource expenses assignment, but I ensure that all the resources, labor, material, and equipment have correct cost rate in the resource directly, and then I assign the resource to the activities which give me the budgeted cost. During the update cycle, I collect the update progress by entering the actual unit, remaining unit, or percentage complete, and prime variable automatically calculate the actual cost and remaining cost based on the resource rate. For project where financial provide actual cost data, I manually adjust the actual cost field in the research or expenses tab. Then I review the cost percentage using the tracking layout on value matrix that helps to compare the original budget versus actual cost. And this structure helps to ensure that cost data in PCs align with the schedule properly, and that helps to provide the reliable forecasting for management, and that is used for the reporting for the stakeholder. In the most of the project which we have done, we use the on value for the reporting purpose also. The client mainly want to see the on value parameter, whether they are within the budget or behind the budget. They want to understand about the status of the program. So the cost is one of the key performance indicator for many projects. And next, why this answer works for me, I have provided the technical accuracy. I have given the full understanding of the cost control in P6. I have done the automatic and manual cost update. I also demonstrated the knowledge of on value. So these things need to be covered when you give your answer to the interview. They want to listen these things in your answer. We need to make sure that we cover our technical part and technical keyword in the answer. Thanks for watching this video. The next video I will be on another important topic, which will be how you describe a challenging team member you work with. How do you manage them? So this is one of another key topic for the interview. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thanks for today. Have a good day. Bye.